My beloved soul, pause for a moment, because this is not just another message. It is a divine interruption sent specifically for you. There is a reason your attention was pulled here. There is a reason you felt something shift inside you before even hearing these words. This is not random. This is not ordinary. This is a moment that has been orchestrated in the unseen, long before you arrive here. July 22nd is not just a date. It is a spiritual marker day that has been sealed with divine intention. And right now, Archangel Michael is stepping forward with a revelation that many were not prepared to hear, but you were chosen to receive. Listen closely, because what you are about to understand may completely change how you see your current situation. You are not waiting anymore. What you have been praying for, what you have been hoping for, what you thought was delayed or even denied has already been released. Yes, released. At this very moment, in ways you cannot yet fully see, heaven has already responded to your cries. Archangel Michael reveals that a powerful group of heavenly beings, known as the Angels of Provision, have been dispatched directly to your house. Not somewhere far away, to someone else. To you. To your space. To your life. And they did not come empty-handed. They carry with them the resources you thought were out of reach, a kind of provision that can shift your circumstances in ways you never imagined. They carry divine connections, people who will enter your life at the right moment, with the right words, opening doors you didn't even know existed. And perhaps most mysteriously, they carry ideas, divine strategies that will come to you suddenly, almost like a whisper, but will hold the power to transform your path completely. But here is what you must understand: when heaven sends provision, it rarely arrives with noise. It comes quietly. It comes subtly. It comes in ways that can easily be overlooked if your spirit is not alert. This is why so many people miss their moment. But you are not going to miss this. Not this time. Because this message is not just informing you, it is preparing you. Something sacred is already moving toward you. Even now, shifts are happening behind the scenes. Conversations are being influenced. Paths are being aligned. Situations are being rearranged in your favor, even if everything around you still looks the same. Do not let appearances deceive you. What you see is not the full story. There is a deeper movement unfolding, and your name is written all over it. That feeling in your chest right now, that sense that something is about to change, that quiet stirring in your spirit, that is not your imagination. That is confirmation. Archangel Michael is awakening you to recognize what is already yours. Because in the coming days, things will begin to happen that feel too perfect to be coincidence. A message will come at the exact right time. An idea will take root in your mind and refuse to leave. A person will cross your path and shift everything. And when it happens, you must not hesitate. You must not question it. You must not shrink back into doubt. Because this is not about whether you feel ready. This is about what heaven has already decided. You have been chosen for this moment of divine provision. Not because of perfection, but because of purpose. Not because of what you have done right, but because heaven has seen your endurance, your faith, and even the silent battles you never spoke about. So stay open. Stay aware. Stay ready. Because what is about to be revealed next will show you exactly why your name was selected and what Archangel Michael sees in you that you may have overlooked. There is something deeply personal about what is happening to you right now, something that goes far beyond chance or coincidence. This was not a general release from heaven. This was targeted, intentional, designed with your name in mind. Long before this moment reached you, long before July 22nd was marked on your calendar, your life was already being observed from the spiritual realm. Every silent prayer you whispered when no one was around, every tear you wiped away when you felt like giving up, every moment you chose to keep going when it would have been easier to stop, none of it went unnoticed. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven hath been tracking your journey with precision, not to judge you, but to prepare for you. Because there comes a moment in every soul's path when endurance reaches its threshold, when the weight you have carried, the battles you have fought, and the faith you have held begins to call for divine response. And that moment is now. You may have felt overlooked. You may have questioned why others seemed to move ahead while you remained in waiting. You may have even wondered if your prayers were being heard at all. But the truth is, there was a timing being set that you could not see, a divine alignment that required certain things to fall into place before your provision could be released. And now, that alignment has been completed. This is why the angels of provision were not sent earlier, because if they had come before this moment, you would not have been in the position to recognize or receive what they carry. There were lessons that needed to shape you, strength that needed to grow within you, discernment that needed to awaken in your spirit. You were being prepared even when it felt like you were being delayed. And here is what makes this even more powerful. Your name was not just chosen because of your need. It was chosen because of your capacity. Heaven does not release this level of provision to those who will misuse it or overlook it. It is given to those who have been refined through experience, those who have learned through hardship, and those who can carry what is coming without losing themselves. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to your resilience. He has seen the moments when you felt like breaking but held yourself together. He has seen the nights when you questioned everything but still found a way to believe. He has seen the hidden strength within you that even you have not fully recognized yet. And that is why this assignment hath been activated over your life. The angels of provision have not come to simply help you. They have come to elevate you into a new level of living, thinking, and receiving. But understand this clearly, this is not just about external blessings. This is about internal transformation. Because the ideas that will come to you will require courage to act on. The connections that will appear will require discernment to trust. And the resources that will be placed in your hands will require wisdom to use. This is why you were chosen. Not because your journey hath been easy, but because it has shaped you into someone who can now handle what is coming. There is also something else that must be revealed. You were not the only one considered for this level of provision. But many turned away too soon. Many allowed doubt to take over. Many closed themselves off just before their moment arrived. But you, even in your uncertainty, even in your questions, you stayed open just enough. You held on just long enough. And that made all the difference. Now the spiritual realm is responding. Now the movement has begun. Now the assignment has been released. And as you continue forward, you will begin to understand why everything had to happen the way it did. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was meaningless. Everything was preparation. And now, the next revelation will open your eyes to something that has already started happening around you, something you may have overlooked until now. Because the truth is, the angels of provision are closer than you think. There is a shift happening around you right now, and the truth is, it did not begin today. It began quietly, subtly, almost invisibly, so much so that you may have missed the first signs of it. The angels of provision have not been waiting for July 22nd to start moving. That date is simply the moment of revelation. The moment your awareness catches up with what heaven has already set in motion. Their presence has already entered your atmosphere, already begun adjusting circumstances, already started preparing the path in ways that are easy to overlook if you are not paying attention. Think back for a moment. Have you noticed certain things recently that felt different? Small changes that didn't seem significant at first, but lingered in your mind longer than usual. Perhaps a conversation that stayed with you, a random idea that appeared out of nowhere, a sudden urge to do something you hadn't considered before. These are not coincidences. These are signals. One of the first signs that the angels of provision are near is a shift in your thoughts. Ideas begin to come to you in a way that feels unusual, clearer, stronger, more persistent. They don't fade easily. They return again and again, almost as if they are asking for your attention. This is because these ideas are not ordinary thoughts. They are seeds of provision, placed directly into your mind, waiting for you to recognize their value. Another sign is the appearance of unexpected connections. You may find yourself crossing paths with someone new, or reconnecting with someone from your past in a way that feels timely. The conversation may seem simple on the surface, but something about it feels aligned, almost orchestrated. This is how heaven works through people, quietly positioning them in your path at the exact moment they are needed. Then there are the subtle disruptions. Yes, disruptions. Sometimes, when the angels of provision arrive, they begin by removing what no longer aligns with your next level. Plans may change unexpectedly. Certain opportunities may fall away. Things you once relied on may suddenly feel unstable. And while this can feel uncomfortable, even confusing, it is actually a sign of divine rearrangement. Because provision cannot fully enter a space that is already filled with what is no longer meant for you. So heaven begins to make room. There is also a deeper, more personal sign, one that you may have felt but not fully understood. It is the stirring within you. That quiet sense that something is about to happen. That feeling you cannot explain, but cannot ignore. It is not anxiety. It is not imagination. It is recognition. Your spirit is beginning to sense what your eyes have not yet seen. Archangel Michael reveals that this inner stirring is one of the clearest confirmations that the angels of provision are already near. It is your soul responding to their presence, even before your mind can make sense of it. But here is where many people make a mistake. They dismiss these signs. They overthink them. They explain them away as coincidence, luck, or random timing. And in doing so, they disconnect themselves from the very thing that was meant to guide them. You must not do that. Not this time. This is why you are hearing this message, to sharpen your awareness, to awaken your discernment, and to help you recognize what is already unfolding around you. Because in the coming days, these signs will become stronger. The ideas will become clear. The connections will become more direct. The shifts will become more noticeable. And when they do, you must be ready to respond. Not with hesitation, but with trust. Because what is happening is not random. It is intentional. It is precise. It is divine. Right now, even as you listen, there are movements happening behind the scenes that are aligning everything for your benefit. Doors are being prepared before you even reach them. Solutions are being formed before you even face the problem. And opportunities are being positioned in places you have not yet looked. This is the work of the angels of provision. And they are closer than you think. So open your eyes, open your mind, and most importantly, open your spirit. Because the moment you recognize their presence is the moment everything begins to accelerate. Type "I receive divine provision" in the comments if you feel this stirring within you. Blessing code 5391 has just been released over your life. And as this revelation settles into your spirit, understand that this message is not meant to stop here. There is a greater flow being activated, one that reaches beyond you and into the lives of others who are still waiting to recognize their moment. As you step into alignment, you become part of that flow. I feel led to speak this directly, When you choose to support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into a living stream of divine encounters. The Lord declares, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a promise being activated through your obedience. If your spirit is saying, "I want to be part of this," then follow that prompting without delay. The opportunity to give through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description is not just a feature, it is a doorway. Even the QR code placed before you carries intention, waiting for your response. As you sow, you release provision not only into your own life, but into countless others who will hear what they need at the exact moment they need it. And hear this clearly, every seed you release will return multiplied, because heaven honors those who move when called. Step into this moment. Activate your obedience. And watch how the flow of provision increases in ways you cannot yet imagine. There is a deeper layer to what is being released over your life right now, something that goes beyond a single blessing or one answered prayer. What Archangel Michael is revealing is not just provision. It is a system of provision, designed in 3 distinct realms that work together to elevate you completely. If you only recognize one of these realms, you may experience temporary relief. But when you become aware of all 3, everything begins to align in a way that creates lasting transformation. The first realm is resources. This is the one most people expect. It is the tangible, visible form of provision, the financial help, the opportunities, the tools, the open doors that directly impact your situation. These are the things you have likely been praying for, the things you have been waiting to see manifest in your physical reality. But here is what you must understand: resources do not appear randomly. They are released strategically. The angels of provision carry these resources, but they do not simply drop them into your life without purpose. They place them where they will be recognized, valued, and used correctly. This means that when resources begin to appear, they may not always look exactly the way you imagined. It may come as an opportunity instead of immediate money. It may come as access instead of ownership. It may come as a chance that requires action rather than a gift that requires nothing. This is why discernment is so important in this season. Because what looks small at first may carry the potential for something much greater. The second realm is connections. This is where divine alignment begins to reveal itself in powerful ways. The angels of provision do not work alone. They work through people. They position individuals in your life who carry keys to your next level. These people may not look extraordinary at first. They may enter your life in simple, unexpected ways. But what they carry within them, their knowledge, their influence, their timing, will be exactly what you need. Some of these connections will recognize something in you that others overlooked. Some will open doors that you could not open on your own. And some will simply speak a word at the right moment that shifts your entire direction. But here is the challenge: not every connection is meant to be followed. This is why your awareness must remain sharp. Because alongside divine connections, there can also be distractions. People or opportunities that appear promising but are not aligned with your purpose. Archangel Michael warns that in this season, you must listen closely to your inner discernment. The right connections will bring clarity, not confusion. They will bring peace, not pressure. They will align with the ideas being placed in your spirit, not pull you away from them. The third realm is ideas. This is the most overlooked yet the most powerful, because everything you see in the physical world began as an idea. Every solution, every opportunity, every breakthrough first existed as a thought. And now, the angels of provision are releasing ideas into your mind that carry the blueprint for your next level. These ideas may come suddenly. at unexpected times, in quiet moments when you are not even searching for them. And when they come, they may feel different from your usual thoughts. They may feel clearer, stronger, almost as if they are guiding you rather than coming from you. This is because they are inspired. They are not just thoughts. They are instructions. But here is where many people miss their moment. They doubt the idea. They delay acting on it. They wait for perfect conditions that never come. And in doing so, they allow the opportunity to pass. You must not do that. When these ideas come, you must honor them. Write them down. Reflect on them. Take steps toward them, even if those steps feel small at first. Because within those ideas is the key to unlocking the resources and connections you have been waiting for. Do you see how these three realms work together? The idea leads you to the connection. The connection opens the door to the resource. And the resource positions you for the next level of ideas. It is a cycle of divine provision, and you are stepping into it now. This is why July 22nd is so significant. Because it marks the moment when all three realms begin to activate in your life at once. Not separately, not randomly, but in alignment. And as this alignment unfolds, you will begin to see patterns that were not visible before. You will begin to understand why certain things happened the way they did. And you will begin to recognize that what once felt like delay was actually preparation for something far greater. So remain aware, remain open, and most importantly, remain responsive. Because what is being released right now is not temporary help. It is a divine system designed to sustain you, grow you, and lead you into a level of provision you have never experienced before. And this is only the beginning of what is being revealed. There is something you need to see clearly in this moment, because not everything surrounding your life right now has been working in your favor. While the angels of provision have been moving with precision, there has also been an opposing force working just as strategically, an effort designed to distract you, to cloud your awareness, and ultimately to cause you to miss what has already been released. This is not something to fear, but it is something to understand. Because once you recognize the pattern, it loses its power over you. Archangel Michael reveals that whenever a significant level of provision is assigned to a person, distraction is also assigned in an attempt to block it. Not by stopping the provision itself, because what heaven has released cannot be reversed, but by preventing you from recognizing it, receiving it, and acting on it. Think about the past few days or even the past few weeks. Have you noticed an unusual increase in mental noise? Overthinking that seems to come out of nowhere. Doubts that feel louder than usual. This is not accidental. Distraction often begins in the mind. Because if your focus can be pulled away, your clarity becomes weakened. And when clarity is weakened, opportunities can pass by unnoticed. You may have found yourself questioning things you normally would trust, second-guessing decisions that once felt clear, feeling stuck between options, unsure of which direction to take. This is one of the primary tactics to keep you in a state of hesitation, because hesitation delays action, and delayed action can cause missed timing. But distraction does not stop at your thoughts. It also appears in your environment. Unexpected interruption, sudden responsibilities, situations that demand your attention but do not truly move you forward. These are not always negative in appearance. In fact, many distractions come disguised as something important, something urgent, something that feels like it must be handled immediately. But here is the truth: not everything that demands your attention deserves your focus. And in this season, your focus is your most valuable asset. Because where your attention goes, your energy follows. And where your energy flows, your results are shaped. Archangel Michael is calling you to become aware of what is pulling your attention away from what truly matters. Because the closer you get to recognizing the work of the angels of provision, the more subtle the distractions may become. There is also an emotional layer to this. You may have felt moments of discouragement recently, a sudden drop in motivation, a feeling of heaviness that you cannot fully explain. This is another form of distraction, not to stop you physically, but to slow you down internally. Because when your spirit feels heavy, your ability to recognize opportunity becomes clouded. But here is what you must hold on to: these distractions only appear because something valuable is already within reach. They are not a sign that you are off track. They are a sign that you are close. Very close. And this is why awareness is your defense. The moment you recognize a distraction for what it is, it begins to lose its influence over you. The moment you choose to refocus your attention, you step back into alignment with what is being released. You do not need to fight every distraction. You simply need to refuse to follow it. Return your focus to what matters. Return your attention to the ideas that have been placed in your mind. Return your awareness to the connections that are beginning to form. Because those are the pathways through which your provision will come. There is also something else you must understand. Distraction often tries to make you feel unworthy. It whispers thoughts like, "This is too good to be true," or "Maybe this is not for you," or "What if you fail?" These thoughts are not coming from your true self. They are attempts to create doubt at the very moment you need confidence. Because doubt creates distance, and distance delays manifestation. But hear this clearly: what hath been assigned to you does not require your perfection. It requires your willingness. Your willingness to see. Your willingness to trust. Your willingness to act. Archangel Michael stands as a protector over this process, ensuring that what has been released reaches you. But you must meet that protection with awareness. You must stay present. You must stay alert to what is real and what is distraction. Because this moment is too important to miss. You have come too far to lose focus now. The angels of provision are already near. The system of provision has already been activated. And now, the only thing that could delay your experience of it is distraction. So lift your awareness, veer your focus, and step forward with intention. Because what is coming next will reveal why this exact timing, July 22nd, was chosen, and how it connects to a larger cycle that is about to unfold in your life. There is a reason this moment is anchored to a specific day, a reason Archangel Michael did not simply say soon or in time, but pointed directly to July 22nd as a turning point in your life. This is not symbolic language. This is not a vague spiritual suggestion. This is a precise alignment in divine timing, one that carries weight, authority, and activation. Because in the realm of heaven, timing is never random. Everything moves according to appointed seasons, divine cycles, and moments that are carefully chosen to release maximum impact. And July 22nd is one of those moments for you. A window that has opened after a long period of preparation, waiting, and unseen adjustment. What you must understand is this: before any major provision is released, there is always a period of alignment. A time when things are being positioned, corrected, and arranged beneath the surface. During that time, it can feel like nothing is happening. It can feel like delays are stacking up, like progress is slow, like your efforts are not producing results. But what is actually happening is much deeper. Heaven is synchronizing your life with the exact moment when what you receive will not only arrive, but will remain, grow, and multiply. And now, that moment has been reached. July 22nd is not just the start of something. It is the crossing point between what has been and what is about to unfold. It is the line where preparation ends and activation begins. Archangel Michael reveals that on this day, a shift occurs in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding you. The angels of provision, who have already been dispatched, move into a new phase of their assignment. What was once subtle becomes more visible. What was once wide becomes more direct. What was once forming begins to reveal itself in your physical reality. This is why awareness is so critical right now. Because this timing window is not open indefinitely. It is a moment that must be recognized and stepped into. Think of it like a door that has been unlocked after a long time of being closed. The opportunity is there. The path is clear, but you must choose to walk through it. And here is something even more powerful. This timing does not only affect what comes to you, it affects how you receive it. Because there are moments when provision can be present, but the person is not ready to recognize or handle it. In those moments, opportunities are missed, connections are overlooked, and ideas are dismissed. But in this moment you are ready, not by accident but by design. Everything you have gone through up to this point has been shaping your awareness, strengthening your discernment, and preparing your mindset to align with what is now being released. That is why this date matters so deeply. Because it is not just about what is coming to you. It is about who you have become in order to receive it. There is also a rhythm to divine timing that you must begin to trust. It does not move according to urgency. It moves according to readiness. And while you may have felt ready long before now, there were elements outside of your control that also needed to align. People needed to be in the right position. Circumstances needed to shift. Paths needed to open. Now, those elements are aligning together. And the result is this window, this moment, this activation point that you are standing in right now. You may begin to notice that things start moving faster after this point. Decisions that once took time may happen quickly. Opportunities may appear in rapid succession. Ideas may come with greater clarity and urgency. This is not chaos. This is acceleration. Because once divine timing is activated, momentum follows. But here is where your role becomes essential. You must not move with fear. You must not hesitate because things are happening quickly. You must remain grounded, aware, and willing to respond. Because speed without awareness can lead to confusion. But speed with clarity leads to transformation. Archangel Michael is guiding you to trust this timing, even if it feels sudden, even if it feels unexpected. Because what may seem sudden to you has been in preparation for longer than you realize. Nothing about this is rushed. Nothing about this is random. It is precise. It is intentional. And it is happening now. So stand ready. Stay alert. And move with confidence as this window opens fully before you. Because what comes next will not only require your awareness, it will require your action. And that action will determine how fully you step into what has already been released. There comes a moment when revelation is no longer enough, a moment when understanding must turn into action. And this is that moment for you. Everything you have heard so far is not just information. It is preparation. It is the unfolding of a divine strategy designed to bring you into alignment with what has already been released. But now, Archangel Michael is making something very clear. Provision responds to participation. The angels of provision have been dispatched. The timing hath been activated. The signs are already appearing. But there is a doorway in front of you that cannot be crossed by awareness alone. It must be entered through action. This is what is known as the doorway activation. It is the point where your willingness meets heaven's release. And what you do right now, how you respond in this exact season, will determine how fully you experience what hath been sent to you. The first step is this: you must make a conscious decision to stay present. Distraction has already tried to pull your attention away. Doubt has already attempted to cloud your clarity. But now you are aware of it. And awareness gives you the power to choose differently. Do not let your mind wander back into overthinking. Do not allow yourself to be pulled into unnecessary noise. Bring your focus back to what you have been sensing, those ideas, those nudges, those quiet moments of clarity, because within them is direction. The second step is to honor what is being shown to you. When an idea comes, do not dismiss it. When a connection appears, do not ignore it. When an opportunity presents itself, do not delay your response. Even if it feels small, even if it feels uncertain. Because the doorway does not always appear as something grand and obvious. Sometimes it looks like a simple step, a message to send, a call to make, a decision to take a different path. But that step is connected to something much greater. Archangel Michael reveals that many people miss their moment not because they were unworthy, but because they underestimated the simplicity of the doorway. They were looking for something bigger, something clearer, something that felt more certain. And in doing so, they overlooked the very step that would have led them into their provision. Do not make that mistake. The third step is to move without waiting for perfect conditions. This is where faith becomes active, because the truth is, the perfect moment you are waiting for may never arrive in the way you expect. There will always be unknowns. There will always be questions. But provision does not require you to have all the answers. It requires you to take the next step. And as you take that step, clarity follows. As you move forward, the path becomes clearer. As you act, the next instruction is revealed. This is how the system of provision works. Not all at once, but step by step. The fourth step is to trust what you are sensing, even if it feels unfamiliar. Because what is coming to you now may not look like anything you have experienced before. The ideas may be new. The connections may feel unexpected. The direction may seem different from what you had planned. But that is exactly why it carries power. Because it is not limited by your past. It is guided by divine intention. Archangel Michael is urging you to release the need for everything to feel comfortable. Growth rarely feels comfortable. Alignment often requires stepping into something new. But within that newness is expansion. Within that unfamiliar space is opportunity. And within that opportunity is provision. There is also something deeper happening in this doorway activation. It is not just about receiving. It is about becoming. Because as you take these steps, you are not only moving toward provision, you are becoming the person who can sustain it, grow it, and multiply it. Your mindset is shifting. Your awareness is expanding. Your confidence is rising. And all of this is part of the process. So do not hold back now. Do not shrink into hesitation. Do not allow fear to delay what has already been released. Step forward. Act on what you know. Respond to what you feel. And trust that as you move, heaven is moving with you. Because the doorway is open. The timing is now. And the angels of provision are ready to meet you on the other side of your action. What comes next will reveal something even more surprising: the unexpected ways these angels may work through people around you, in ways you never anticipated. There is something about divine provision that often surprises people, something that challenges expectations and stretches understanding. When the angels of provision begin to operate in your life, they rarely appear in the way you imagine. They do not always come with visible signs or unmistakable announcements. Instead, they move through people, ordinary people, unexpected people, sometimes even people you would never have considered important to your journey. This is where many miss the depth of what heaven is doing, because they are looking for something supernatural while ignoring the very natural channels through which the supernatural is flowing. Archangel Michael reveals that in this season, some of your greatest breakthroughs will not come directly. They will come through someone, a voice, a conversation, a connection that seems simple at first, but carries something far greater beneath the surface. You may encounter someone who shares an idea that aligns perfectly with what you have been thinking. You may receive guidance from someone who doesn't even realize the impact of their words. You may meet someone who opens a door, introduces you to the right person, or points you in a direction you had not considered. And in that moment, it may not feel extraordinary, but later you will realize it changed everything. This is how the angels of provision work. They influence conversations. They guide interactions. They position people at the right place, at the right time, with the exact piece of information or opportunity you need. But here is the challenge: you must be open. Because if you are too focused on how you expect things to happen, you may overlook the way they are actually happening. Provision does not always arrive through the familiar. Sometimes it comes through the unexpected. Sometimes it comes through someone you had doubts about. Sometimes it even comes through a moment you almost ignored. This is why your awareness must extend beyond your own thoughts and into your interactions with others. Pay attention to what people are saying. Pay attention to what keeps coming up in conversations. Pay attention to those moments that feel aligned, even if they seem small. Because within those moments there are messages, and within those messages there is direction. Archangel Michael also reveals that not every messenger will appear perfect. Some may seem ordinary. Some may not speak with confidence. Some may even deliver their message in a way that feels incomplete. But that does not mean the message itself is without value. You must learn to listen beyond appearances, to sense what is being carried beneath the surface. Because the angels of provision are not limited by human expectations. They use what is available. They work through who is present. And they deliver what is needed, exactly when it is needed. There is also a deeper layer to this. You may also become a messenger for someone else. Because as provision flows through your life, it does not stop with you. It continues. It moves outward. It reaches others. And in doing so, you may find yourself speaking words, sharing ideas, or making connections that impact someone in ways you did not anticipate. This is part of the system. It is not just about receiving. It is about becoming part of the flow. And as you allow that flow to move through you, it increases. It multiplies. It expands. But here is something you must remain aware of. Discernment is still necessary. Not every voice is aligned. Not every suggestion is meant to be followed. This is why you must stay connected to that inner knowing, that quiet sense of clarity that tells you what feels right and what does not. The right messengers will bring peace, even if their message challenges you. They will bring clarity, even if it requires you to step into something new. They will align with the ideas that have already been placed in your spirit. So do not rush. Do not accept everything without reflection. But also do not close yourself off, because your next step may come through a conversation you almost missed. Your next opportunity may come through a person you almost overlooked. Your next breakthrough may come through a moment that feels ordinary but carries divine intention. The angels of provision are closer than you think, and they are already working through the people around you. So stay open, stay aware, and listen carefully, because what you hear in the coming moments may be exactly what you need to move forward. Type "I am open to divine messengers" in the comments if you are ready to receive what is coming through the people around you. Blessing code 8824 has now been activated over your path. And as you open yourself to these divine messengers, understand this truth: what flows into your life is meant to flow through you. This is not just about receiving. It is about participating in a greater movement that is reaching souls far beyond your own circle. I feel this strongly. If your heart is stirred right now, and you sense that this message is part of something bigger, then this is your moment to act. The Lord speaks, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." This is not a distant promise. It is a living instruction tied to your obedience today. If you are saying within yourself, "I want to help carry this light further," then move on that desire. The Super Thanks auction and the PayPal link in the description, along with the QR code placed before you, are not just tools. They are channels for this flow to continue reaching those who are still waiting for their moment of awakening. As you give, you are not losing, you are releasing. And what you release in faith returns with increase, touching lives you may never see, but heaven records every impact. Step into this flow. Activate your giving, and watch how provision not only reaches you, but begins to move through you with power. There is something extraordinary about what is unfolding in your life right now, something that goes far beyond a single moment of provision or one answered prayer. What Archangel Michael is revealing is not just a breakthrough. It is the beginning of an overflow. An overflow changes everything. Because when true provision enters your life, it does not come just enough to survive. It comes in a way that begins to expand every area of your existence. It touches your thoughts, your decisions, your environment, and even the way others begin to see you. This is what is now being activated. The angels of provision were not sent to meet a temporary need. They were sent to establish a new level of living for you. A level where lack no longer defines your choices, where limitation no longer controls your direction, and where opportunities begin to multiply instead of disappear. At first, the changes may seem small. A shift in your mindset, a new sense of clarity, a quiet confidence that begins to rise within you. But do not underestimate these changes, because transformation always begins within before it becomes visible around you. You will start to notice that you think differently. Where you once hesitated, you will now feel a pull to act. Where you once doubted, you will now sense a deeper trust forming. Where you once felt stuck, you will begin to see possibilities. This is the overflow beginning in your mind, and as it takes root there, it will begin to manifest outwardly. Opportunities will start to align in ways that feel almost too precise to be coincidence. Situations that once seemed blocked will begin to open. People who could not see your value before will begin to recognize it. And what once felt difficult will begin to flow with greater ease. This is not luck. This is alignment. Because when your internal state aligns with what has been released from heaven, your external reality begins to respond. Archangel Michael reveals that this overflow will also affect your relationships. You may find that certain connections grow stronger, while others begin to fade. This is not something to fear. It is a natural part of elevation. Because as you step into a new level, not everything from your previous level can remain. Some people will rise with you. Some will support you. Some will become part of your journey in ways you did not expect. But others may no longer align with where you are going. And that is okay. Because provision is not just about what is added to your life. It is also about what is released. There is also a practical dimension to this overflow that you must be ready for. Resources will begin to appear. Not always in overwhelming amounts at first, but in ways that steadily build a new opportunity, an increase in income, access to something that was previously out of reach. And as these resources begin to flow, you must handle them with wisdom, because how you manage what you receive will determine how much more can be entrusted to you. This is where many people limit their own overflow. They receive, but they do not steward. They gain, but they do not grow it. But you are being called to something higher. You are being called to become a steward of what is being released, to recognize that every resource, every connection, every idea is part of a larger system designed to expand through you. And as you align with that system, the flow increases. There is also a deeper, more personal transformation that will take place. Your sense of identity will begin to shift. You will no longer see yourself as someone waiting for opportunity. You will begin to see yourself as someone who creates, attracts, and walks into it. You will no longer feel defined by past limitations. You will begin to recognize your potential in a new way. And this shift, this internal elevation, will be one of the most powerful aspects of what is happening. Because once your identity changes, everything else follows. You begin to make different choices. You begin to expect different outcomes. You begin to move through life with a confidence that reflects what has been released within you. And this is where the true overflow begins. Not just in what you have, but in who you become. So embrace this transformation. Do not resist it. Do not question whether it is real, because it is already unfolding. The angels of Provision have set this in motion. And what you are stepping into now is not temporary. It is a new level, a new flow, a new way of living that will continue to expand as you move forward. And as powerful as this overflow is, there is still one more thing you must be prepared for before it fully manifests. There is a truth that many people are not prepared for, a truth that often determines whether someone fully steps into their provision or unknowingly delays it. And the truth is this: right before the breakthrough, there is almost always a test. Not a punishment, not a setback, but a final moment of refinement. A moment that reveals whether you will remain aligned with what has been released or fall back into the patterns that once held you in place. Archangel Michael makes this clear. What you are approaching is not just a blessing. It is a transition. And every transition comes with a point where your faith, your awareness, and your actions are quietly examined. You may begin to notice it in subtle ways. A situation that challenges your patience. A moment where doubt tries to return. An opportunity that requires you to act before you feel completely ready. These are not obstacles meant to stop you. They are invitations to confirm who you have become. Because everything that has been unfolding in your life, the awareness, the ideas, the connections, the inner stirring, has been preparing you for this exact point. And now, the question becomes, will you trust what has been revealed or retreat into what feels familiar? This is where many people lose momentum. They reach the edge of their breakthrough and then hesitate. They begin to question the very things they once felt certain about. They allow fear to speak louder than faith. And in that moment, they pause just long enough to miss the timing. But you are not here to repeat that pattern. You are here to recognize it and rise above it. The test may not look dramatic. It may not feel like something significant. In fact, it may appear so ordinary that you are tempted to overlook it. But it is in these ordinary moments that your alignment is strengthened or weakened. For example, you may receive an idea that requires immediate action, but you feel the urge to wait. You may encounter a connection that feels aligned, but you begin to overanalyze it. You may sense a clear direction, but doubt whispers, "What if this is not right?" These are the moments where your response matters most. Because provision does not require perfection. It requires consistency. Consistency in your awareness. Consistency in your trust. Consistency in your willingness to move forward, even when everything is not fully clear. Archangel Michael is urging you to remain steady. Do not let temporary emotions override what has already been revealed to you. Do not allow a moment of uncertainty to erase the clarity you have received. Because what is being tested is not your worthiness. It is your alignment. And alignment is what keeps the flow of provision moving. There is also something deeper happening during this test. It is strengthening your ability to sustain what is coming. Because receiving provision is one thing. Maintaining it, growing it, multiplying it, that requires a different level of awareness. And this test is preparing you for that level. It is teaching you to trust your discernment, to act without unnecessary delay, to remain focused even when distractions appear, and most importantly, to stay faithful to what you know is true. You may feel a pull to return to old habits, old ways of thinking, old patterns of hesitation, but those patterns no longer align with where you are going. You have outgrown them, and this moment is your opportunity to leave them behind completely. Stand firm in what you have received. Hold your focus on what is unfolding, and move forward with the confidence that you are not stepping into something uncertain. You are stepping into something that has already been prepared. Because beyond this test there is movement. Beyond this moment there is manifestation. Beyond this point of decision there is the full expression of what the angels of provision have been working to deliver. So do not waver now. Do not step back now. You are closer than you realize. Closer than you have ever been. And what comes next will confirm everything you have felt, everything you have sensed, and everything that has been revealed to you along this journey. There is a moment in every divine process when uncertainty begins to fade, when the questions that once filled your mind start to lose their power, and a deeper knowing begins to take their place. This is that moment for you. Because what you are hearing right now is not just a message, it is confirmation. You may have asked for a sign. Not always out loud, not always in clear words, but somewhere within you, there was a question, a quiet desire to know if what you were sensing was real, if what you were hoping for was truly on its way, if what you felt stirring inside you had meaning. And this is your answer. Archangel Michael reveals that when heaven sends confirmation, it does not always come in dramatic or overwhelming ways. Sometimes, it comes as a message that reaches you at the exact moment you are ready to understand it. A message that speaks directly to what you have been feeling. A message that aligns with thoughts you have not shared with anyone. A message that feels personal, almost as if it was written just for you. That is what is happening right now. This is not general. This is specific. Because the timing of this message aligns with the timing of what is unfolding in your life. You were meant to hear this now, not before, not later, now. And that timing is your confirmation. Think about everything that has been revealed so far. The awareness of the angels of provision. The signs that have already begun to appear. The ideas that have entered your mind. The connections that are forming around you. The inner stirring that you could not fully explain. All of it is connected. All of it is part of the same movement. And this message is the piece that brings it into focus. Because once you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. Once you recognize the pattern, you cannot ignore it. Once you accept the confirmation, you cannot go back to doubt in the same way. That is the power of this moment. But here is something you must hold on to. Confirmation is not given to convince you. It is given to align you. It is not meant to replace your faith. It is meant to strengthen it. Because even with confirmation, you will still need to act. You will still need to trust. You will still need to move forward, without having every detail fully revealed. But now, you are not moving in uncertainty. You are moving with awareness. You are moving with clarity. You are moving with the understanding that what you are stepping into has already been set in motion. Archangel Michael is also revealing something deeper. This message is not only confirmation of what is coming, it is confirmation of who you are becoming. Because the ability to recognize a message like this, to feel its truth, to sense its alignment, is not something everyone can do. It requires a level of awareness that has been developed through your journey, through your experiences, through everything you have gone through to reach this point. This is why you were able to receive this. This is why it resonates with you, because you are ready. And as you move forward from this moment, you will begin to see confirmation not just in messages like this, but in your daily life. Small signs that reinforce what you already know. Moments that align too perfectly to ignore. Situations that unfold in ways that feel guided. These are not coincidences. They are continuations. They are reminders that what has been revealed is still unfolding. So do not look for more signs out of doubt. Receive this one fully. Let it settle within you. Let it strengthen your confidence. Let it anchor your focus. Because you do not need endless confirmation. You need clarity. And clarity has already been given to you. Now, everything shifts from asking to acting, from wondering to moving, from waiting to receiving. And as you step into that shift, the final phase of this message will bring you into a place of peace, a place where you no longer feel the need to chase what has already been released, but instead rest in the knowing that it is already on its way to you. That is where this journey is leading, and that is where you are about to arrive. Beloved one, take a deep breath and let your spirit settle for a moment. Because what you have been searching for, striving for, and quietly hoping would arrive has already been released. There is nothing left for you to chase, nothing left for you to force, nothing left for you to prove. This is the place where everything begins to shift, not through effort, but through peace. Archangel Michael is speaking clearly in this moment that the greatest sign of alignment is not urgency. It is calm assurance. It is the quiet knowing that what has been set in motion cannot be taken away, delayed, or misplaced. And this is where you are now. You have moved through awareness. You have recognized the signs. You have understood the timing. You have stepped beyond distraction. And now you are entering rest. Not the kind of rest that comes from giving up, but the kind of rest that comes from trust. The kind of rest that says, I know it is already done. Because when provision is released from heaven, it does not depend on your constant effort to reach you. It flows through the systems that have already been activated, the ideas, the connections, the opportunities that are now aligning around you. You are no longer in a place of waiting. You are in a place of receiving. Even if everything has not fully appeared yet, the movement has already begun. And this is why peace is so important. Because peace keeps you aligned. Peace keeps your mind clear. Peace allows you to recognize what is unfolding without fear or confusion. Archangel Michael is guiding you to release the need to control how everything will happen. You do not need to figure out every step. You do not need to understand every detail. What has been assigned to you knows how to find you. What has been released in your name carries your direction within it. So let go of the pressure. Let go of the overthinking. Let go of the need to rush ahead. Because what is meant for you is not fragile. It does not require perfect conditions. It does not depend on you getting everything right. It is guided. It is protected. And it is already moving toward you. There is also something beautiful that begins to happen in this place of peace. Gratitude starts to rise naturally, not forced, not spoken out of habit, but felt deeply within you, because you begin to sense that something real is unfolding, something that is no longer just a hope, but a reality in motion, and that gratitude strengthens the flow. It keeps you open. It keeps you connected. It allows the system of provision to continue moving through your life without resistance. So remain in that state, calm, aware, grateful, because everything you need for this next season has already been dispatched. The angels of provision are not searching for you. They have already found you. They are already working within your environment. They are already aligning what needs to be aligned. And as the days unfold, you will begin to see it more clearly. You will recognize the ideas when they come. You will see the value in the connections that appear. You will step into the opportunities that open before you. And it will feel natural. It will feel right. It will feel like something that was always meant to happen, because it was. This is your moment of peace, your moment of trust, your moment of quiet confidence in what has already been released. So rest knowing that you are supported. Rest knowing that you are guided. Rest knowing that provision is no longer something you are waiting for. It is something you are now living in. Type "I rest in divine provision" in the comments if you receive this message with peace in your spirit. Blessing code 7419 is now sealed over your life. And as this peace settles into your heart, hear this clearly: what hath been released into your life is not meant to stop with you. Just as the angels of provision were sent to your house, this message is being sent into many lives that are still waiting for their moment of awakening. I feel this strongly. If you are saying within yourself, "I want to be part of what God is doing here," then this is your moment to act. The Lord declares, "Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house, and see if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing." This is not just scripture. It is an invitation being spoken directly to you. When you give through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description, or even by scanning the QR code placed before you, you are not making a simple donation. You are sowing into a river of provision that is reaching souls across the world. As you release your seed, you activate a flow that comes back into your own life, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Every act of obedience is recorded in heaven, and every seed carries a harvest far greater than what you can see. Step into this moment. Release your seed, and become part of the divine flow that is transforming lives right now. V